Welcome everyone to the Q&A session for our upcoming course, Your Akashic Records, the 7-week journey to access your Akashic Records to discover answers to your most pressing questions about your relationships, health, and to receive essential information about your soul's plan and purpose. My name is Nadira Ade, and it's my pleasure to be hosting this hour-long Q&A call for the Shift Network, where we'll explore the teachings of Lisa Barnett and address questions about her upcoming 7-week course, Your Akashic Records, which begins next Tuesday, June 18th. Later, I'll explain how you can participate in this course, even if you can't attend the live sessions. But first, I want to introduce our very special guest. Lisa Barnett has devoted her life to serving as a divine channel to help people connect to their divinity and receive the soul guidance they are searching for to heal and transform their lives. She's the founder and CEO of Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, an internationally recognized school where she teaches students to access their soul wisdom in their Akashic records and master numerous healing tools, meditation, and prayer systems. The school has thousands of students worldwide with dozens of certified consultants and teachers. Lisa's particular specialty is empowering individuals to find greater fulfillment, happiness, abundance, health, and ease by helping them align with their soul path, understand their soul contracts, and complete their karma and sacred vows. In just a few moments, we're going to open up for questions, but first I want to welcome Lisa to the call, and she will begin our call by leading us in an opening exercise. Welcome to the call, Lisa.
Thank you, Nadira. I am just so pleased to be here with everyone. So let's start by doing a guided visualization to bring you all into the Akashic field with me. So as I'm answering questions, you can start to feel the energy and the resonance of the pure, unconditional love of the Akashic Records. And who knows, maybe some of the questions will bring forward some healing. I have found that we can do some really profound healing in the Akashic Records because they are pure source energy. All of the wisdom of your soul is written about in your Akashic record. So let's take a few minutes and just experience that energy now. So let's start by closing our eyes if that's comfortable for you. I always like to just imagine that we're dropping out of our head and down into our heart as we invite our soul, that big soul of you, to come more fully present down into the physical body. All the way down, filling our whole torso, down into our legs and feet. Let's run some nice grounding roots down into Mother Earth as we ask for her support in staying grounded and present as we do this expansive work today. And as we breathe into our hearts and we ask them to open a little bit further, we ask the Divine Lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in your love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the Akasha available to us today. Please help as we open our multidimensional hearts to divine wisdom as we access the Akashic realms today. We ask for support in aligning us with our true path. And we give great thanks for the divine love and guidance that we receive today. And just taking another deep breath. Allow yourself to notice what you notice. Often the energy will swirl around us. It may feel like a silvery blue column of light, holding you in this sacred space, keeping you safe as we do this process today. And we ask the Akashic Record Keepers to offer us any healing that is in the highest and best alignment with each of our soul's path, purpose, and records that's available for us today. And knowing that this is by choice. So if something comes up in a question and an answer that you would wish to have some clearing or healing around today, just allow yourself to think, yes, please, I'm open to receive. And so it is. So just knowing this beautiful swirling column of Akashic energy is around us all over the planet, wherever you are. And we just come back and let's answer some questions.
Thank you very much. For everyone who's listening, we're going to begin to dive into questions for Lisa as we prepare for her upcoming course, Your Akashic Records, which begins next Tuesday, June 18th. If at any time during this call you want to learn more about the course, you can visit yourakashicrecords.com to see the full description. And now we're going to get started with the questions. Before we do that, if you have any questions for our customer support department, you can contact them directly at support.theshiftnetwork.com. And if you have a question for Lisa and you're watching on the broadcast, just type your questions in and I'm happy to start reading them. So let's get started with a question from Amir, who says, can knowing about our past life or incarnation better help us in our present life manifestation?
Fabulous question. Thank you, Amir. Yes, it can. So there's many different reasons, actually, that knowing about past lives can assist you in this life. One of the lovely reasons is that we can actually reclaim past life wisdom, different gifts and talents that we've had in other times, and bring them more present into this physical body now. And that can help us align to our soul purpose or create and manifest the life that your soul is wanting you to live right here and now. It's also very useful because when we access different past lives, we can also see the pain that creates the blocks. And I love to teach my students how to clear that emotional pain and the trauma so we can free the energy up to go forward with ease and grace. So thank you for that question.
Thank you very much. And I just want to clarify that the URL is yourakashicrecordscourse.com. Make sure you include the course when you're going to check out the site. And now the next question is from Julie, who says, every psychic I go to says I can't find love because I'm blocked. None can seem to tell me what is blocking me and how to get unblocked. Is there anything in my records that can reveal what exactly it is and how to reverse it?
Well, I would love to share a little bit more about love and relationships and how they are connected to our soul contracts. So before you come into a body, each time you come to Earth, you make a plan and you write soul contracts. Now, not everyone writes soul contracts to have a deep love in each life. So it is possible, though I'm not in your specific Akashic records, it is possible that you may have chosen to live a different sort of life, possibly finishing old karma, supporting other people. And I often say that there are many, many women in the world right now who have chosen to live a very expansive soul contract, which is about divine love and divine mother love. And that often means that we've chosen to be that bigger divine mother of all instead of mother of one or two. And that sometimes also, rolls over into the personal relationships. And so we're actually choosing to be more expansive in our love and our support and our sharing than having it be with a singular person. Now, honestly, Julie, because I'm not in your Akashic records, I can't tell you exactly what your records say, but you can look into your Akashic records. And these are some of the things I teach in this course and in the following advanced courses, so that you can really understand the soul contracts you've written and what might be blocking you. Because it's also possible that there's emotional pain or possibly a past life vow that is blocking you from accessing those significant partnerships.
Thank you very much. And the next question is from Linda, who says, is it true that all of our records of our truths are held vibrationally within our temple body, and as we raise our vibration, they are revealed because we become a vibrational match to them?
It's a beautiful way to say it. The way the Akashic Record Keepers have shared with me is they say that all of the Akashic Records were held in the information arm of Source. Now, of course, because we are all one with that, we can also know that through the deep connection of our heart, that we are raising our vibration and much more able to access that information, with ease and grace, because we are raising up, connecting to source energy, to the higher energies of the universe. And so it really, yes, you can look at it, you can connect through your heart. We're connecting to source. We're becoming more expansive. We're raising our vibrations. So it doesn't feel that the records themselves are held in any particular point. They're much greater and more vast. I sometimes even feel like they're held in our cells. And of course, they're held in our etheric bodies, and they're held in source. So it's not that hard to learn to access them, as I teach in my workshop. And I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. But yes, of course, as we become more aware and more awake, we often start to access this information and this energy naturally.
Thank you very much. This next question, I'm not seeing a name, but is, how can I know if my Akashic Records masters have a message for me at this time?
Oh, that's a fascinating question. Thank you. The Akashic Record Keepers and Masters always have information for us. They are the beings of light that are here to support and serve us. And so they answer our questions. And I really love it when I teach people to access their own Akashic records, they often say, we meet you where you are. So the information that you're seeking for is there, and they share that with you. I don't tend to find the record keepers have like one specific message. They are the guardians and beings of light that keep your records. They are your librarians to your library. And they want to share all of the wisdom and the information that you're interested in seeking. So I would say that it's kind of like an infinite amount of information that they really have for us.
Thank you very much. And I just want to take a moment and remind everyone that we are speaking with Lisa and about her upcoming course, Your Akashic Records course.com. You can go to the URL for more information there. And the next question is from Anita, who says, I believe myself to be in a contract to be a light worker and have felt this since I was a toddler. Can you tell me anything about my past lives that might be involved in this feeling?
Hi, Anita. Yes, it is, I think, coming a little bit more common for people to have that sort of experience. I certainly know that I was well aware at 3 years old that I really wasn't from here and I had come to do something. And when I learned to access my Akashic record, being able to ask those sorts of questions on a regular basis. So when you learn to access your own Akashic records, you can go in and say to the record keepers, what did I come to share? What past lives do I have that support me being a light worker? How many lives do I have as a healer? And can you help me to reclaim some of this information and energy so that I can use it in this life now? What's blocking me? I always like to help people to clear those traumatic lives that often block us from accessing that information and those gifts and talents. So when we are very awake as children, as toddlers, really the truth is that we've been light workers so many times in so many different lives that we're really here to help humanity now. And so the record keepers will help you if you want to take this course and I teach you to access the records. Then your record keepers will give you so many details about how this works and has served you in other lifetimes.
Thank you very much. This next question is from Melanie. Since you touched on being a healer and multiple lifetimes, I wanted to offer this question. She says, my understanding of soul purpose is that it doesn't change from life to life. Thus, a healer is always a healer, a warrior is always a warrior. Is this true in your experience?
Well, honestly, in my experience, what I see, what the record keepers explain, is that we have numerous soul purposes. And so we actually come to do and share a multiple gifts and talents. So the way the record keepers explain this very often is that if you imagined that you had a whole string of lifetimes in which you were a healer, and each lifetime was represented by, say, a pearl, and now you have a pearl necklace with these beautiful lifetimes in which you were a healer. So you might take that necklace to Earth with you, as well as a pearl necklace filled with lifetimes of being an author. So my experience, and this is actually my personal experience, which is, of course, after 25 plus years of doing this sort of work, you realize there's so much deep information in our Akashic records. So when I was asked to write a book by the record keepers, they said, go and access all the lifetimes in which you were a published author or which you were an author. And so I really went kind of methodically back through time, looking for lives as a published author, lives where I could write easily. So looking for ways to make the writing process easy for me. And this is when they started to share that I had that pearl necklace of a published author and the pearl necklace of a healer and also one of the Divine Mother. I have 3 children and I've raised my nephews, so 4 children in my life. And when that showed up, I thought, wow, okay, I was planning on 1 or 2, not 4. What's the story? And they said, well, you have those soul contracts with all of these children. So, when we have sometimes things that feel challenging to us, even if in so many obvious ways, they're great gifts, having all these beautiful children, what a great gift. But I had all 4 of them showed up in my lifetime in only 1.5 years. So it was a very overwhelming gift. And so I said, I have no idea how to do this. And they said, yes, you do. You have this soul path and purpose as the mother also. So long story short, I would say that we have multiple purposes. And I think this is why people are often a little confused. We think our purpose is going to be loud and clear and maybe be like a job description. But we're much more ancient and complex than that. I even often feel like, wouldn't that be boring if it was like one job description or one purpose? So they change as we go through life. It's about our soul growing and learning and expanding as we go. So multiple purposes for everyone in every life.
Thank you very much. This next question is from Glennis, who says, I remember multiple previous lifetimes. I'm also aware of spiritual planes as well. Do the Akashic Records cover physical and spiritual journeys?
Yes, they do. So everything your soul has been and done throughout time is recorded in this etheric plane we call the Akashic Records. And so there are human lifetimes, there are some recordings of lifetimes in between, and also some recording of lives in other planes, planets, dimensions. And I would say, honestly, most people find it easiest to access information about this life and past lives on Earth. But when I teach this workshop, I also teach you access prayers that connect you to some different galactic lives, which really help us to realize that we're not just Earthlings, that we've lived in other planets and dimensions. And I actually teach you to connect to some of that information because I know we're all star seeds. There may be a few people who are only Earthlings, but I don't know that I've actually met any of them. And so, yes, I think it's fabulous to remember that and to access those gifts because many people are actually here to help bring some of the wisdom from other planets or planes to bring that to Earth now. And so it's very helpful to start to access that bigger information. And you can do that through accessing your Akashic Records.
Thank you very much. This next question is from Jackie, and it's got some depth to it. So I'm going to read it all out to you before I get to the question. She says, I would like to understand, before signing up for this course, what is the process used to communicate with the keepers? Is it through meditation and prayers? If so, how do I know they are listening? How do I get the answers if I do not possess the ability to channel spiritual messages? I feel I'm not empathic enough to make this work.
Beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful question. And I know so many of you have that question. It's one of the biggest questions that people ask me. Part of it is often, can anyone access the Akashic Records? And the truth is that this is your, really part of your soul's gifts, is to access this wisdom. And even for many people who feel like they're not clairaudient or clairvoyant, one of the first steps in this workshop is I do about a 40-minute healing process to help to clear blocks to our clairaudience, our clairvoyance, our claircognizance, even our clairsentience, so that it makes it easier for all of the students in the class to open to receive more information. So more specifically, the process is a 5-step wisdom prayer system. And yes, we use access prayers. And what I find is that it's very different from a meditation or from praying and hoping and wishing. It is actually a vibrational key that takes you directly into your Akashic record. And this is why in the very beginning today, we did this simple access prayer to bring us into this column of energy and light, to hold us in alignment with this energy of the Akashic records. So we do vibrational keys, we do clearing prayers, which I find are, of course, different than a meditation or praying. They're much more direct. So the access prayers really open the door to your Akashic library with ease and grace. And I teach you processes to be able to get out of your head, get out of your own way, and download information also with ease. So we do a lot of what seems something like automatic writing, but because we've used a vibrational key to open the Akashic records, we're very clearly channeling our record keepers. So as we let that information flow to us and through us, even if we're not consciously clairaudient, which is about hearing, they rarely come through as a booming voice. They usually sound like us, but we do exercises and processes to differentiate between what we're thinking and what the Akashic record keepers are saying. So this is part of the 7-week process, is to help you to know when you're in your records and when you're outside of your records. We do exercises inside and outside the records, so you start to feel the energy difference and the difference information that you're receiving. So this really is a lot about what I'm teaching in this 14-hour course.
Thank you. This next question is from Kay Marie, who says, can Akashic Records say if I've been involved with my family members in a past life, and how so?
Yes, they absolutely can tell you. Again, the involvement with family members and past lives is all part of what we're starting to learn to access in the more expansive records of your soul. So once you've learned how to open and access your records and how to channel this information with clarity, you can then go in and say, do I have a soul contract with my mother or my brother or my child or my husband? What, and you could really go through methodically if you like. Sometimes people do. Ask about your soul contracts with each person in your family, and if you've known them in a past life, and if your soul contracts are complete or not, if they're contracts about support or if they have karma attached. Because we notice that the challenging relationships often are soul contracts that have karma attached, which means we really want to understand something, to be able to learn and grow around that issue, around that challenge. And this is why we have these people in our life. We actually make a contract before we come into the body, and we say, hey, would you help me understand this? I seem to be stuck in this pattern lifetime after lifetime. And so we can ask the record keepers about these soul contracts and other lifetimes and what we've been with each other. I always say, my husband, I've been married almost 29 years now. And one of the first things he said to me on a very early on date, we were walking in the California hills, and he looked at me and he said, you and I were Native American brothers in a past life. I was shocked, I have to say. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild. And so we really do it all with those soul family members, those souls that we travel through time and the galaxies together. And that's what I would say about my husband, is that he's part of my soul family, and we've been brothers, brother and sister, husband and wife, mother and child. And we can ask all that information in our own personal Akashic records once we have easy access through the 5-step wisdom prayer system.
Thank you very much. This next question is from Nimesh, who says, do the methods for accessing the Akashic records vary from one practitioner to another? You have sacred prayers to access them. Someone else might have a pendulum. How do they differ, or are they similar?
Oh, yes, there are many different methods of accessing the Akashic records. I know for a very, very long time, I'm going thousands of years, people really accessed their records as mystics or monks, really through meditation, through the alignment, the solitude, really a deep connection to source. That really was the only way, I think, for most people. Another way, Nostradamus used to access the Akashic records was through scrying, which is a soft gaze into a pool of water or a crystal ball. So scrying was one also not very direct way to access the Akashic records and expansive wisdom. Edgar Cayce, back in the 1920s and 30s, used a hypnotic trance to access the Akashic records. So there are numerous different ways. I have found that the access prayers, as in my 5-step wisdom prayer system, is very direct and very simple and very clear. Using a pendulum to ask questions is, can be hit or miss in the same sort of way. Often when we dowse by using a pendulum, we're asking questions, and we may or may not actually be accessing the Akashic records. You may be accessing your higher self, or you may be accessing an angel, or you may be accessing someone who has crossed over. And so again, by dowsing questions, it feels a little bit less direct. So that's why the record keepers asked me to bring a wisdom prayer system, and they've given me numerous vibrational keys, which are access prayers, to help different people of different soul lineages to access their Akashic records with ease.
Thank you very much. Our next question is from Patricia, who asks, after completion of this course, would I be qualified to take your study course number 2 to read others' Akashic records? And thank you so much.
Yes, Patricia, you would be able to go on into more advanced courses. Now, I have to say, honestly, my second course goes along with the first course, and the Akashic Record Keepers wanted me to teach what they call Akashic self-love, Akashic self-mastery. So course 1 and 2 is really about going deep into the information of your soul's wisdom, because it's pretty hard to read someone's records if you don't know much about yourself. So much of the information that the record keepers have given me over the years is through my own exploration of my own soul path, purpose, past lives. So course 1 and 2 is Akashic self-mastery. We want you to heal those past lives, to understand them, to understand your soul lineage and your soul contracts. Because if you don't understand soul contracts, again, it's pretty hard to help someone with that in their life. So Akashic self-mastery is course 1 and 2, and then I teach Akashic career mastery, in which I teach you to access the records for clients and really to go on and become a certified Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom consultant, if you so choose. And I love to teach healing tools so that not only can you heal yourself, your past life pain and trauma, your present life trauma and also emotional pain, but that you can do that for your clients also.
Thank you. And if you're just joining us, we are here with Lisa Barnett, learning about her upcoming course, Your Akashic Records, which begins next week on Tuesday, June 18th. Please log on to yourakashicrecordscourse.com for all the details and to register. Our next question is from Hannah, who says, I would like to know my purpose here in life and where I can find support to leave all the hard times and brighten up my life again.
Thank you for that question, Hannah. Well, of course, what I would say is that your Akashic Record Keepers are here to support you. Now, they're not in physical form, but to me, there is such a great gift in being able to have a clear and direct conversation every day, if you choose, with these beautiful beings of light who are here only to support you. So your Akashic Record is like a library of your soul's information. It really has the information about your karmic path, of course, your past lives, and your soul plan, which talks about why you chose what you chose in this life. So what that means is when you look into your soul's plan and you understand that much of the emotional pain or trauma or experiences or different challenges are coming from your soul's desire to learn and grow in a specific way, your record keepers will help you to understand that plan, that path, so you actually can clear old karma, release soul contracts that are complete, or often to understand some of the challenges that are connected to your soul contracts so that you can upgrade and bring those soul contracts into present time now. It really helps us to understand what's going on in our relationships, as well as even in our body. Sometimes it has to do with our health or the dis-ease we're experiencing in our body. It can also have a lot to do with our ability to manifest or not, which means if we're able to be and live an abundant life of all kinds, including abundance of love and great relationships and friends. And of course, an abundance of money, the monetary resources. So all of that information is written about in your Akashic Records. And when we do this 7-week course, there is a private Facebook group for the students of the course. So you get to meet and talk to some of the other students on the Facebook group. So you can maybe meet some new soul friends, connect with them virtually in that sort of way. And then, of course, learn to connect very deeply and powerfully with the record keepers so they can support you each and every day as you go forward on your soul's path.
Thank you so much. Since you mentioned money and finances, I wanted to offer this question from an anonymous person who said, "What do I need to rewrite in my Akashic records to create amazing financial abundance in my life and maintain it?"
For most of us, it's a process. I always say, we live hundreds and hundreds of lives here on Earth alone because we come to learn and understand as souls. And one of the things your soul wants to learn is how to truly create on this Earth plane and dimension. So as big souls, we say, oh, Earth is so glorious. I'm going to go create this divine life that my soul desires. And I'm going to go create this beautiful work or business and family or friends. I'm going to find my soul family. And then we come here and it's really dense and we have many challenges and most of us are asleep. So we land in a body and we think this is real. We think that this is all there is, this life we're experiencing. So for many of us, it's a process to first realize that we are ancient, expansive souls with so much wisdom to be reclaimed. And as we work in our records and we start to see that truth and we start to realize we've had these different lives, not only as just everyday humans, as, whatever, craftsmen or farmers or teachers, but that we've been healers and guides. We've been in big situations where we've been speakers, maybe we've been in government, maybe we've created amazing inventions or been creative souls, painting and writing and sharing our wisdom. When we start to see and be able to reclaim that energy in our lives, it becomes so much easier to create an abundant life. And then we go through and we actually start to ask the record keepers, what's stopping me? What's blocking me? I would say that probably 99% of the light workers that I've worked with over the years have vows of poverty that we have taken because we've been killed or hurt or harmed in some way for sharing our gifts and talents in the world. And so one of the things I love to do is to clear those vows of poverty because they don't serve anyone anymore. So maybe we can just take a moment because we opened the records of the group. We moved into this beautiful high divine energy as we started today. And let's just breathe into our hearts, letting them open and expand, and let yourself feel the column of Akashic light and love surrounding us as we ask our own record keepers to help us release and clear any vows of poverty that are available for you to clear and release today. And we ask the record keepers to help us to move outside of time and space, clearing these lives. Many of them are really over the last 1,000 years that I see. And if you choose to have this clearing, just think, yes, please, and let your record keepers to release and uplift all of that old pain and trauma from these vows of poverty, lifetimes in which we've been killed for speaking our truth, They're cleared in the Akashic field, and they're not that hard to clear in our world now when we access the Akashic Records. So this is one of the wonderful gifts that they have given us, and I teach in my workshop. So just feel that uplifting. Allow it to be brought to completion. And taking one more deep breath into your heart, we give great thanks for the clearing and the release of past life vows and emotional pain and trauma that block us from creating an abundant life today. And so it is. Blessed be.
Blessed be. And I love that. Yes, please. Yes, please. This next question is from Sat, who says, I would love to know if my soul contracts with the parents I chose are done. I would like to not return to engagement with them. How far back can I go to see where the agreements were made? I have a feeling it was generations prior to my parents. I'd like to clear it all as far back as I can go. How deeply can I go with the method you present? And thank you.
Thank you. That's a great question. You can go as deep as you allow yourself. Honestly, I have traveled back, I don't know, outside of time and space, back to a time in which I was a whale on Earth. Back when the Earth was in an ice age, and I came from the dog star Sirius. That's where the whales and dolphins come from. And I made a vow to this beautiful blue-green planet to help to support Gaia on her awakening journey. And I always would ask, why am I here? Why am I still here? What did I say? And one day the record keeper showed me this past life as a whale. And I realized that that really is a piece of my soul path and purpose still, is to support humanity in awakening and support our dear Mother Earth, our Gaia, also in her awakening. And so your records hold the expansive information of your soul's journey throughout time. So there really is no limit. The limit is only what we allow ourselves to know, to trust, to feel, to see. So often the limits that we experience are our mental limits, our personalities and egos limits. And so I will teach you to move outside of time and space and help you to really release those limiting beliefs.
Thank you very much. We're going to have time for one or two more questions, but before we take those, I want to mention your Akashic Records once more. This is going to be an extraordinary 7-week journey under Lisa's guidance, where we will access our Akashic Records, meet our record keepers, and receive essential information about our soul's plan and purpose. The 7-week course takes place on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, starting Tuesday, June 18th. If for any reason you cannot join us live, you won't miss the teachings. You'll receive video replays, transcripts, and all course handouts via your course homepage. Also, I'd like to remind you that we offer a no-risk money-back guarantee on our courses, giving a full 2 weeks, in this case until July 2nd, to make sure you absolutely love it. As an added option, all participants are welcome to connect via a private Facebook community group, which Lisa mentioned earlier in the call, so that you can stay connected with one another. And everyone who registers for this course will receive our bonus collection, which include Expanding into Greater Abundance, a video meditation from Lisa, the meditation practice, which is a set of 3 guided audio meditations from Lisa, Prayers of Self-Love ebook from Lisa, and then 25% off a personal Akashic healing session with Lisa. And Lisa, can you share a little bit about what you are most looking forward to offering in the upcoming course?
Oh, that's a trick question, Nadira. I just love every bit of it. I love teaching people this simple and profound and deep 5-step wisdom prayer system. And there is nothing more exciting than when people start to download and understand the expansive information of their soul. When you really start to understand the truth of who you are as an infinite and wise soul, it is life-changing. So I teach you so many different tools, like the guided meditations, but they're really to reclaim your energy, to help you align with greater ease, to help you to really move into your heart and to go deeper into allowing yourself the self-love that also is so transformational. So many different tools are wonderful and fun to teach, but really having you access this information and wisdom for yourself is phenomenal. So I'm so excited about teaching that. And so's my dog. If you hear her gurring over there, she's like, oh, yay, we get to teach again. My little warrior pup.
Hearing her. I hear her. And I also just want to share with everyone on the call that one of the things I'm really excited about being able to support Lisa on this upcoming course is that as we've been having the meetings to prepare for the course, I've been noticing that I start to feel myself opening up and feeling very tranced out, and I'm feeling it right now. So I'm saying that, one, so that I can ground myself, but also just that if you're also feeling it on the call, and I hope many of you are, I'm sure you are, I'm looking forward to being your course manager and supporting you on this upcoming course so we can all be tranced out and in the field together. This next question is from someone who is anonymous, who says, is there a way to finally stop the wheel of reincarnation? And how do I know if that's the goal of my life?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. There are so many people here on the planet today, and you may very well be one of them, who is at the very end of the old karmic wheel. And I often will see these people have lots of challenges in their life because they said, okay, I'm going to be done once and for all. And it may show up as challenges. So if you had a bit of a traumatic childhood, maybe you have challenges around money or abundance or relationships, it's often because we are working through the last of our karmic patterns. And you can ask your record keepers if that's the truth for you. And of course, you can ask them to give you baby steps, little steps that you can take every day, every week, every month to help and support you in completing these old karmic patterns so that you can get off this old wheel of life, right? And so the Akashic Record Keepers will support you in doing that, not only for a day or an hour, but from here forward throughout your life. You can continue to deepen into this work and process, creating a very, very deep relationship with your record keepers so they can help you every day be guided, guarded, and protected as you finish your karmic cycles.
Thank you very much. And our final question to carry us off into the realms of the upcoming course is from Ruth, who says, how can accessing your Akashic records move you forward in this lifetime?
Thank you, Ruth. That's a fabulous question, as they all have been. I'm so appreciative of having this time to share with everyone. So, as I spoke a little bit earlier about your soul's plan, the record keepers say when you can understand your soul's plan, what you wanted to do when you came to Earth, that helps you to align, of course, to your purpose, to open and reclaim gifts and talents that you may not even have any idea are there for you. It helps you to understand the painful emotions, the challenges, the drama or the trauma that is or has been in your life. And when you can really see that big picture, that this is a karmic pattern, that this is a soul lesson that you have chosen to learn, it helps us to kind of drop the story, to open to the gifts and the learning and the soul growth so that we can really get on with our lives and create that beautiful divine life that your soul has come to live. Otherwise, so many of us just kind of stumble around not knowing which way to go. We get stuck at crossroads and we think, I have no idea. Do I go left? Do I go right? I don't know if I have a talent. We're really, it's kind of blind leading the blind. But when you can talk to your record keepers, see your soul's plan, understand your gifts, understand your soul contracts, have that information available to you all the time, it is life transforming. I certainly look forward to having you join me in this very profound empowerment work that the record keepers have gifted back to humanity.
Thank you so much. This has been a wonderful hour with you, Lisa. And thank you to everyone for being with us. And Lisa, thank you for sharing your wisdom and your energy with all of us on the call today. Your Akashic Records starts next week, Tuesday, June 18th. And again, please visit yourakashicrecordscourse.com to learn more and to register. Lisa, do you have any final words for our listeners?
Oh, I would love to just meet each and every one of you, get to share this beautiful energy and help humanity and each of you personally to awaken so that we can move with ease and grace into the beautiful divine lives we are really here to create. So until I get to meet you soon, sending you lots of love.
Thank you. And thank you again to everyone who joined us today on the call. On behalf of all of us at the Shift Network, I wish you well and look forward to having you on this course or another one in the future. Take care.